Well, it's now time to bring you today's closing details of trading activities at the Nigerian Stock Exchange Limited. Joining me now live is TVC News Markets Editor Effiong Ekap, who joins me live in the studio. Thank you very much for joining me at this point.
It's a pleasure.
Yesterday, trades were up. Today, we're down 2%.
Down,
What's happening?
It was actually down yesterday. So it is the second day of low trade. Well, it is that issue that I mentioned that many investors, have to take this psychological view. That's the margin of increase that last week threw up in the markets. Those of them who are in need of urgent money, they're moving to take profits. So we still see the markets, leading to the negative territory, 0.02%, actually in a flat territory. That's to tell you that activities were not very strong in some of the sectors. See here, we traded 124 million units of shares valued a little above 2 billion naira. Although that's above average transactions in what we've been seeing in some days. The mood of the market is that of caution. Many investors are being cautious about everything. The environment is hostile. Okay. You understand, you can't move about, you can't do anything. You spend so many hours at the fuel station, the offices are empty, businesses are down. It creates a great anxiety in the business environment. And so those who play the stock market, they are really very cautious. So if we see them drawing money from the market, we can understand the psychology behind the action.
So where do we go from here?
We will have to stay cautious from here till the end of this year. Because predictability, I don't see coming easily. And the market mirrors exactly what the larger economy, is feeling. So there is uncertainty in the larger economy, and that uncertainty moves through the market. In fact, those who play the stock markets, they are even very, very resilient. They are courageous, if I must judge their attitude, to do things. Because even if you talk about manufacturing, the myriad of complaints, some of them shutting down their factories, you understand what happened. I hear that even some radio stations, because of diesel problem, they have reduced the hours they stay on the air. Then imagine somebody that goes to the market that he wants to put in billion. You understand? Some fund managers, they are sitting on billions of naira to do so. They are really very courageous. See, I think that those who are in government, who want things to happen, they have a responsibility to stabilize the economy, stabilize the market, give comfort to so many of us, the downtrodden. Because if you look at what is happening, you need hope. There must be hope. Otherwise, if people are desperate and despondent the way it is, it's not very good. So investments, must not be shaken right away. And we are talking of foreign investors coming back here. How can they come with this situation? Right. Somebody was telling me before I came in here, the problems he had this morning at the airport, coming from there to mainland. Yes. And so if you spend 4 or 5 hours between airports to, enter the city, and a foreigner is around to come and hold a meeting with a business partner. So what impression will he have about our economy? So business or investment right now may be at a standstill.
Market Editor Effiong Ekap, thank you so much for talking to us.
It's a pleasure.
We move to the foreign scene now, where Asian entity equities jumped today, while the dollar slid as investors poured into risky assets after Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell opened the door to a slowdown in the pace of monetary tightening. Powell's comments at the Brookings Institution in Washington sent the U.S. dollar and the Treasury yields lower, while stocks soared, with MSCI's broadest index of Asia-Pacific shares outside Japan surging to 1.65%. China stocks rose nearly 1%, and Hong Kong shares rose 1.6%, as investors shared signs of some relaxation in China's strict anti-COVID curbs. Following the recent menace between the CEO of Twitter, Elon Musk, and Apple, the European Union has threatened with a ban. According to the recent report, the union warns that unless the incorporation abides by its strict rules on content moderation, it is setting up a regulatory battle over the future of the social media platform. EU industry chief Thierry Breton made the threats during a video meeting with Musk, citing people with knowledge of the conversation. Breton, while speaking to Musk, said he must adhere to a checklist of rules, including ditching an arbitrary approach to reinstating banned users and agreeing to an extensive independent audit of the platform by next year. Despite the introduction of different monetary policy to curb inflationary pressure, Swiss consumer price inflation held steady at 3% in November, which overshot the Swiss National Bank's 2% target range for the month of October. That's according to the latest report from the National Bank. Core inflation that strips out volatile items like fuel and food prices rose from 0.1% in the month of October and 1.9% year-on-year basis. Swiss National Bank officials have repeatedly flagged a rate hike in the central bank's quarterly policy review meeting. The inflation data, according to a report, shows that the Swiss economy grew between 0.2% in the third quarter and the second quarter of 2022 and slowed to 0.5% year-on-year, lagging market expectations. Oil prices dipped in Asia trade today as uncertainty lingered ahead of Sunday's OPEC Plus meeting, though easing COVID curbs at the world's top crude importer, China, capped price declines. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude fell, selling at $80.41 per barrel, with a price decline of 0.17%. Brent crude futures sells at $86.87 per barrel, with a downward price margin of 0.11%. Bonny Light also experiences an uptick of 3.52%, selling at $85.79 per barrel. And for the OPEC basket, crude oil dealers offer $79.93 per barrel, with a downward price margin of 4.62%.